This is another lock update. I am 4 years and 1 month locked. I realized that I like to do these type of videos lately with my lock updates, just show how I do a retwist as well as reminisce on some hairstyles. And in this video I specifically want to talk about how I conquered the urge to give up in my lock journey, because it's been times where you feel like you want to give up, but I'm here to talk about what helped me to keep going and to reflect on my beginning stages of my lock journey all the way until now. And never mind the face mask that I am wearing. This is an apple cider vinegar mud mask that I like to do. I want to start doing them every week again. It keeps my skin nice and clear and smooth, and I really do enjoy that product. So I was doing that while taking care of the nape of my hair. Alright, and excuse me if I sound a little nasally. It's because I deal with seasonal allergies, and right now, oh my gosh, these allergies are kicking my tail. But I am drinking some hot tea, so hopefully that helps my voice to relax. Also, when it rains outside, my allergies are like 10 times worse, and at the time of this video it's raining like crazy. But anyway, let's get into the video. The first thing I wanted to talk about that helped me to not give up during my lock journey was my mindset. I had little to no expectations starting my lock journey. I was fully ready to accept the lock journey for whatever it was going to be. So with that, I wasn't too particular about the directions in which I twisted my hair to start my locks. I was perfectly satisfied with my locks being different sizes and shapes from one another. So informality wasn't a deal breaker for me during my lock journey. Being open-minded helped me to stay on my lock journey because it didn't put unnecessary limits and expectations on my hair. If I put limits and expectations on my hair, I probably would have given up my lock journey or kept starting my lock journey over because of my own mindset, like my own expectations. And I would have felt discouraged if the results didn't match what was in my head. So I want to say that was like a big part in the first reason why I kept going in my lock journey. It was about the mindset. So I started my lock journey in August 14th of 2021. This video was from August 30th of 2021, so I'm probably 2 weeks or so in, and this is what my hair was looking like. This is the footage that I am showing, and you can see how far my hair has come, and I was just super excited to just start the journey. And I was just looking at my hair. I'm already 2 weeks in, and I'm like, I can see my hair locking already. Like, I was so excited for any little change, any little thing. So that is how I was feeling during that time. You can also see how my locks had no weight to them. They were just twists. They were what's the word? Shrinkage was still a thing, and in fact it was a serious thing. Like, my hair was still like elastic, and I could pull it and have it spring back. Still very pliable. I'm just looking at the back of my hair, and I always enjoyed the back of my hair more than the front. I felt like the back was healthier maybe, and the front was always a different texture anyway. But I was just happy with this journey, and I really didn't care about wearing my hair out like this for the most part. I had some days where it was like, but most of the time I was just too excited to care. So another thing that kept me going on my loc journey was comparison, or lack of comparison. So I am a firm believer in comparison is the thief of joy. Whether you believe it or not, it comes naturally to me to focus on myself and not compare myself to anyone else. Because of this, I never compared my loc journey or the way my hair looked to anyone else's. Having tunnel vision with my loc journey has kept me from being distracted from my goals. If I had compared my locs and my journey to someone else's, I could have become discouraged and expected to have the same experience as someone else. Just as my individual locs are unique to one another, so is my loc journey unique to the next person's altogether. Alright, so the third thing that kept me from giving up on my loc journey was individuality acceptance. So I am a believer in Jesus. I believe in God, so embracing my individuality comes naturally to me as well. It ties in with the comparison is the thief of joy mentality. It makes me to take pride in the fact that I'm the only me that there will ever be in the entire universe. A wise woman once told me that I am one in a billion. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. It's exciting to discover who I am, my likes and dislikes, everything about me from the inside out. Knowing that I was handcrafted in my mother's womb with my father's and mother's DNA by God Himself. My belief in that alone is why it's easy for me not to compare myself to anyone. Just as my life is sacred and created for my own unique experiences and purpose, so is my hair journey. Comparing is only a waste of time. Focusing on myself helped me to stay focused on my loc journey. So the fourth reason that helped me to stick to the loc journey and helped me to not give up was wearing wigs and drawstring styles. It helped me not to give up during a day where I wasn't so excited about the loc journey. Along the way, I had days where I was getting impatient. I wanted length and I wanted it now. To create my desired aesthetic, I wore wigs for length and drawstring loc buns for style. I was able to take breaks from the loc grind without quitting the journey. If I didn't use wigs or those styles, I most likely would have become so impatient that I might have just said, forget it, this is taking too long. So these little breaks that I had was very beneficial. Never really shy to wearing wigs and like weaves and stuff, because I did a whole video on what I did before I locked my hair, and I have even more footage of different hairstyles I did before I locked my hair. So wearing these wigs and different kind of buns and styles actually was beneficial to me. It was just a good way to get my desired look without having to start my journey over, and it was just convenient. It's a process. It took me a while to just get used to not relying on that anymore, but this was great. I mean, it was something that helped me got through my journey, so yay. So number 5, I think I just had a strong desire, and excitement for the lock journey. And I find the journey of seeing my hair evolve from short to long and like springy to condensed and maybe thinner to thicker, and just seeing how it swings now and all the things that I love about my hair. Seeing that journey and taking that journey itself was fulfilling and exciting for me. So I did try pretty much everything I could do with my hair before I locked my hair, and locks were the last thing that I tried. So it created a desire to take on that challenge and trying something new that I haven't done before, and I found it to be fulfilling. And that's why I didn't give up, because I was being like fulfilled. I would have these goals and it would just go together really well. And I was like, okay, I can't give up, you know. And then looking at the calendar and seeing like, I wonder what my hair is going to be like on this day, or I wonder how different it's going to be this time next year. I still do that actually, but it's like more of a motivation or a curiousness. It's not the expectations or the limits. It's more so the drive to keep me going, and I'm just curious and having fun with the journey. And I guess that does make a huge difference as to someone who will commit to the lock journey and someone who probably won't, or maybe have trouble. But for me, I remember when someone had told me when my hair was like in my baby phase, they was like, they couldn't wear their hair like that. They would have to wear a wig or something if they was starting a lock journey. And I'm like, I get it. I'm like, yeah, I wear wigs sometimes too, but I don't know. I felt like I was embracing the journey, and I guess I just wasn't overly concerned about the way I was being perceived by a bunch of random people who didn't even know me. And honestly, I really felt confident. I think that's the biggest difference. Like, where someone going around saying, oh, I couldn't wear my hair like that, I'm like, that's fine, you don't have to, but I am, and I'm perfectly fine with it. And she was telling me about her sister or cousin or someone she knew, and she had locks too. She was saying she started hers out, and now they're all the way like down her back, which is still my goal. I want my locks to be all the way down my back. But she was just telling me that, and for her, she would do a lock journey, but she felt like she couldn't make it past the baby phase. Because I'm never calling it an ugly phase. I never did, because I feel like I'm never ugly. I'm just really confident in myself. I'm confident in who I am, what I look like, the way God made me, and that's just that. And yes, if you do have days where you feel like, okay, I feel like this look isn't doing it for me, then yeah, there are styles like I was showing before. You could do wigs or like buns and different styles like that. You can even put faux locks over your locks or do braids. There's so many things you can do now. But I feel like if you are struggling or you feel like you can't make it past the baby phase, then these are options that you can definitely do. But you want to make sure you don't do them too much, because you don't want to deform your locks. And I don't know if that's fact or fiction, if it's something I made up, but it was something that I felt when I was starting my lock journey. I didn't want to continue to put a whole bunch of stuff over my hair, like faux locks or box braids, because I didn't want to smother my locks in those styles, and I wanted them to develop freely. So this is me just taking a look at my hair and enjoying how it's changing already. So that was just one thing, and that could be the difference maker for someone starting their lock journey. If you have that desire, if you have that excitement, do it. And when I first started my lock journey, I was wearing a bonnet. I still do that actually. I wear a bonnet if I'm not out and about. Like if I'm in a house or whatever, I'm wearing my bonnet to protect my hair from lint and whatever else. So I just do that. And early in the morning before I would go to work, I would look in the mirror and see if I can spot any locks that have changed. Like it was like a game. It was super fun, super exciting to me, and I was just really enjoying how my hair is coming along. Even back then, I felt that it was cute and I really liked it, even in the beginning stages. And I would do things like wearing my hoops or lipstick, lip color, stuff like that, anything to like jazz it up if I wasn't feeling like it was like spruced up enough. But yeah, perfect. Look at my hair, it's so cute. I think it really all boils down to self-confidence, creativity, and desire. Like if you really want to do it, you're gonna do it. And this was a video from February 22nd in 2022. So I was 6 months in at this point. Now I will say at this point, I planned at the beginning of my journey, when I got to 6 months, I was going to put faux locks over my locks. But I didn't end up doing it because I realized that my hair was still in a very critical part of the process, and I did not want to interrupt my journey. I was feeling my hair and I was like, well, it's still pretty soft. My ends are still pretty curly. And then I remembered from doing other styles, like if I would leave it in for a while, I would take my hair out of the style. And then I felt like my ends would become more straggly. And I'm like, So I ended up like snipping some of my ends around 6 months, and I just kept it moving. By then, I could tell a difference from first day, like first month, to 6 months. Like my hair looks super thick right here. Like it, not thick, full, I guess. Yeah, it looks full and it looks healthy. My hair was darker back then because I didn't put the color in just yet. Which next month, my next update, I'm probably going to be dyeing my hair again because I can see how much in real time my hair has grown out a lot, and I kind of want to bring back that color. And I feel like it grown past the point where it's my favorite look. Like I like the dark roots and maybe just a little bit more, and then it starts like an ombre effect. But now my hair has grown out so much to where it just look like it's a certain color only at certain points, which I don't like. So next month in my update, I'm most likely going to go ahead and get some dye and show the process of how I dye my hair to keep it that color that I like to bring out my eyes. And I feel like it goes well with the lipstick I like to wear, and it goes well with my skin. I like my natural hair color, but I do feel like when I brighten my hair color, you can see the color of my eyes better, and that's my favorite part. So yay, that's what I'll be doing. But for now, I'm just looking at this video, looking at my hair, how far it has come. But when I was in my 6th month, I was like, yeah, I can tell a clear difference from when I first started. And that was motivation enough for me to keep going. Like I'm seeing progress, I'm seeing how my hair is changing, and I am enjoying this journey. Like I'm really doing a lock journey. Like what? Yes. So that's that. All right, so my 6th and final reason is the most difficult to explain probably, and it's very well, I don't know what to even say. it's a ambiguous, I guess, reason, because it could be multiple different things. It's like a whole bunch of reasons in one, maybe. Okay, I'll say that. Anywho, so number 6, the reason why I kept going on my lock journey and I didn't give up is because all of the benefits of locks. That's the reason why I refuse to give up on my journey. Especially when I first started, I knew all the benefits that would be there once I made it to a certain point where I was super, super comfortable with my hair. And I can't explain all of the benefits of lock, but I will summarize the most important ones to me. The most important benefit to me is that it's my natural God-given hair. Okay. It gives me pride and liberation. So I can explain that. I feel like weave became a choice and it wasn't a necessity once I started wearing my locks and getting more confident in it. So when I was younger, I would wear the wigs and the weaves 10 times out of 10. There was not a day where you would see me without some type of wig or weave, pretty much. And I personally became unsatisfied with the wigs and all that stuff, because over time I felt like I looked my best when I was hiding my own natural hair, and that led to a deep desire for me to just feel beautiful as I am with my own hair, and I didn't want any help from a wig or a weave. So that began my true feelings towards my lock journey, my natural hair journey, all of those things. It led me to this moment. And as I began to embrace my natural hair and started to understand why I preferred the wigs and weave, I was like, oh, that's the key. I understood why I preferred that. And it was because the length, of course, it was instant length. You didn't have to wait and grow. So that's why I like the wigs and all the weaves and stuff, which is, cute. And I love length. And I always enjoyed long hair. It was the behavior of the wigs and weave as well. So I liked how it behaved. In the wind, my weaves would blow. And if I turned my head, all of the things. But when I was relaxed, I feel like my hair did not behave that way, and I wanted to find a way to get my hair to do exactly what this weave was doing, and I finally figured it out. So it's funny because I always enjoyed that, and the wigs and the weaves and stuff. I felt like I considered it to be graceful. So I figured if I could grow my hair long and have it blow in the wind and swing from left to right when I turn my head, I would enjoy my hair just as much as a wig and a weave. And then I wouldn't even need that anymore. It wouldn't be what I would go to because I have that behavior and length in my own hair. So I went on my lock journey to get my hair to mimic my favorite things about the wigs and the weaves that I was wearing. And yeah, I did try the relaxers. It broke off my hair and it caused it to be stiff, so that was not it. I think I have pictures of that, by the way. I should insert that in there. It was just and then it looked really thin to me. It thinned out my hair, and relaxers just was not for me. It wasn't good for my scalp either. Anyway, so relaxers, it had the opposite effect of what I wanted for my hair, and I wasn't satisfied with it was potentially dangerous. Once I started learning about relaxers and all that stuff, I was like, this stuff really could be doing damage to my scalp. And sometimes after a relaxer, it wouldn't be rinsed out all the way. I was just talking to my mom the other day, and we was talking about when we had relaxers, we both did, and now we both don't. But we both had some of the same issues with our scalp. Like it would just be a clump of like some of the product of the relaxer just stuck on my scalp. And then when you go combing your hair or try to brush it, it's like it gets interrupted by this thing, and then you got to put water in it, and then you're gonna have to flat iron it and let it dry. It was just a whole like big old mess for no reason. So I'm so glad that I no longer have that. But that is when I started my natural journey process, you know. And some of this stuff I did say in my other video of things I did before I was locked, but it goes hand in hand. Before I was locked goes with the reasons why I stay locked, why I stayed on my lock journey, because it was a whole process. Like, yeah, I did the big chop twice, and the best thing for me was locks. Like after everything I've tried, like this was the best thing. And so I wanted to just wake up and go on about my day without having to put a ton of effort into my look. And yes, my hair is super convenient now, so that's another reason why I stay on my lock journey. It was because I had a personal goal to embrace my God-given natural hair and look beautiful with it at the same time, and truly love it just as much as I loved how glamorous I felt and how good I looked with the big weaves and the hair and all that stuff, which is great for whenever I feel like planning looks. But I didn't want it to be a necessity, and that's like the biggest reason why I stuck to my journey, because I found convenience in my own hair, and to me it looked just as gorgeous and it behaved the same. You know, the whole swing effect was very important to me. So fast forward, after trying a whole bunch of different looks, I did decide to go for locks, and having locks gave me a blend of low maintenance, length retention, styling versatility, and natural beauty. And that is fulfilling, and I enjoy having my natural beauty with minimum effort. That is like the main reason. If I could sum it all up, that last little thing there was it. And I only retwist once a month, and sometimes I skip a month if I want to, so that makes it even easier to keep up with my regimen. And I wash my hair whenever I feel like it. I must wash my hair at least once a month when I do my retwist, and other times I would do twice a month if I know I put a lot of other product in my hair, or if I try to style, or if I just feel like washing it without retwisting it. Definitely do that, but it's optional. It's nothing that I really have to do, and it's not a lot of hard work, which is another reason why I stay on my lock journey. So, and I want to say that my hair has never been this long and healthy in my entire life. Like, I love having long hair. And of course I am crocheting the top of my hair and like around my main parts. I definitely had to show that off. My side part, my middle part, and my other side part. So left, right, center is what I have. I went back and found some footage of my journey, my lock journey, and I realized I've been crocheting like my left, right, and center parts since the very beginning. I felt like it was taking too long for it to lock at first, and then I was like, I'm about to crochet these. So I did have that moment, sure did. But yeah, early as like month 3 or 4 in my lock journey, I started crocheting off and on like the main parts of my hair. So that's interesting. I just got finished editing my video. It's my loud laptop, but I wanted to just show my hair all dried off, and how I usually wear it is just, you know, with the side part. It's my favorite thing. And I'm probably just gonna do a little quick 360 and we're gonna end this video.